Hiya, Anthony.
Hi, Sylvia. Um, Today we'll be interviewing Sylvia. Sylvia will be going into a trance channeling state. Sylvia is a conscious channel, and she'll be bringing through the group of 100. Um, and the first part of this session, they've actually asked us to have a Q&A session on the state of affairs presently. So they've asked us to focus on the daily lives and what advice that can be given over this holiday period. Because we're basically in a conflicting period of change, from governments to financial change to physical world events. As as an example, the global auroras.
Yeah.
So I'll leave it up to Sylvia now to carry on.
Beautiful. Okay, so off we go. Greetings, dear ones. We are here. We are the group of 100 ready to speak with you. Greetings, dear Anthony.
Greetings. Um, we just outlined a couple of minutes ago, prior to this, and the main reason for this channeling is basically the Q&A on the state of affairs, and we're basically the daily lives and the focus of attention on what advice can you give over this holiday period, because we're in a conflicting period of change, from governments to financial changes to physical world events, as an example, the global auroras that are occurring. Can you comment on this topic, please?
Yes, indeed, we are in a great time of change on this planet, a time long heralded, long awaited. Many souls on the planet at this time have been here many, many, many times before, and finally will reach the completion of their journey within this lifetime. This is a time of great excitement and deep shifting on this planet. Indeed, shortly in the future, life will be transformed in ways never believed possible on planet Earth. At the moment, in this Christmas time, in this season of these days and weeks coming up, we are in a sort of a soft holding period. So indeed, it is a precious time to spend with those who strengthen your heart. We say this quite specifically because we know that family can be a large part of Christmas, but that for some of you, spending time with family is indeed more stressful than reassuring. So we encourage you to follow your heart this year, to spend time with those who fill your heart, where things can be easy, where you can relax, where you do not expend your own energy beyond what you have. Because indeed it is a time where we do suggest that you conserve your energy for the period ahead, where you make sure you are not stretching beyond what you currently have in your tank, as it were. So just a gentle balancing of what you need to feed yourself, what you need in order of supplying and being part of the group energy and the family energy, and also spending time out to connect with your spiritual journey and your spiritual guidance. These factors are very important at this current time, in whichever way you do this. So for you, if it is the grounding of walking on the beach, it is the grounding of sitting under the tree, it is the grounding of meditating every day, of praying. We do encourage that these sacred times are excavated during your day, This is not historically a period, the great irony being this was supposedly the birthday of Christ, and for many is supposed to be a highly spiritual time, but of course the secular world has changed this into materialism and sometimes energy which is not really aligned to the spiritual focus at all. So a gentle balance of loving community, spiritual time, meaning time for you to dive deep into your essence. So this may be, you may be on holiday with a big rowdy family, but is it possible for you to sit on the lawn for 10 minutes by yourself, or to take a walk on the beach by yourself, or with a beloved with whom you may walk in silence? Just feel into yourself and just become aware that historically your energy can become very dissipated being around large groups at this time. So food, enjoy the food of the season, but make sure there is soul nourishment for yourself.
Great. What advice, say, could you give for the well-being of an individual that's, say, new to the spiritual journey, specifically in this space then?
Yes, thank you for this question. There are many at this time awaking, seeking the new, agitated within themselves and feeling that there is more I must seek. Many have hit brick walls within their consciousness, this sense of being stuck in the past and the need to change, feeling strong and calling them from a very deep level. Many on the planet are experiencing this at this time, and indeed this is exactly as it should be. So do not fear, dear ones, you are right on line, right on target for your evolutionary future. So this is a time to become aware of what causes dissatisfaction, what limits you, what imprisons you in your life. This is very deep and important work at this time, to really own up to the call of spirit, to say, yes, I am being called to change. I am being called to progress. I am being called to look out into the world with open eyes to see what is new, what I need to change my stance on, what I need to set a new gaze upon, and to be willing to be flexible, be willing to be change. Indeed, the change is coming, and for many it may be quite shocking. So the more that you can choose change now, then in a way you are readying yourself for the news that will become more and more frequent on your planet as the structures, the governmental structures, guidance structures, your local authority structures, these will all be changing in the future, and there will be much flexibility required of your thinking. So if you can embrace this sort of need for change within you first, make it personal first, then indeed we feel that you will be more equipped for the social and political changes that are coming in the new year.
Okay. So sort of like the flip side of that question then would be the same. What's the suggested focus of individuals that are more experienced and more focused on an ascension path then?
Yes, I think those already aware that the planet is ascending on the journey of 3 to 5D and who have been on this path for many years, they are already deep in their spiritual journey, but they too have been confused by recent events and are sometimes struggling to hold their faith and to hold their trust. So it is important that they too just stay in this state of self-nourishment and self-nurture and deepen their connection to source energy, to the divine, and see if they can really move into this state of trust at this time. There are changes which many on this deeper level are aware of and have indeed been waiting for. So the shifting scope of the world will not be so shocking to these ones, and we encourage them to hold the light at this time. Indeed, the mission of many what are called starseeds or light workers in coming to planet Earth at this time is for this moment in time. As the outer world gets rocky, can we hold the light? Can you simply stay in trust, stay firm, stay as a beacon of just the light, just the spirit within, and do not let the mind create torment or anxiety, or do not let others influence you and pull you off your center. Be very careful what you listen to and what you believe. Exercise your discernment. This is just as this is important for everyone, and certainly just as important for those already quite immersed on the ascension path. Indeed, the planet will be moving into this period of ascension, and there are currently those who know little of this destiny for planet Earth, but who will be meeting it in the months to come. And as the numbers rise of those with this awareness on the planet, indeed, this is going to ease Gaia's journey into this ascension path. And all the divine predictions will indeed come together at this time, synchronize and harmonize, and the shift will be upon us.
Can you maybe talk a little bit more about the world events, the physical world events that may be changing in the next few years?
Yes, well, there is much confusion and misunderstanding on your planet about how to grasp, as we say, what lens to see these changing events through. Because please understand, dear ones, that what you call your mainstream media has been lying to you for as long as it has been in existence. Indeed, it was created to be a vehicle of manipulating the population of planet Earth. So if you are looking, if this is your sole source of truth, we are afraid you are going to be very disappointed. As the powers of light increase on the planet, some of these networks are already in the hands of the light, so it is possible to be receiving more and more truth. In your country, New Zealand, we are feeling this is very much not the case at this time. But that's not to say that there are not private channels where the truth is discussed and available if people seek. So there is this reality check radio that offers some interesting information, and there are others also that local people can seek alternate information from what is being fed to you on the 6 o'clock news, as it were. The real energy is in the global changes. This requires you seeking these, finding the websites, looking for the true records of the government going down in France, or the earthquakes in California. These are probably reported, but they may be reported in the mainstream with a certain slant. This slant, accumulated over many, many, many years, makes it very difficult for certain souls to negotiate what will be coming in the new year, which indeed is a huge shift of context. For example, we give the example that many governments will be, as it were, disintegrating or dismantled, or suddenly the powers in that country are no longer the powers, which requires perhaps a new election. Then, for example, what would happen if indeed a new election didn't happen, or the structure of the election itself was to change, and suddenly there is a platform for the good people of any country to be elected, to be the spokesperson for the people. Indeed, this is the destined future, this cooperative way of government, not people who are elected unknown, unproved, because they have political ambition. These are not the hearts and souls that are destined to serve the people. The people who will serve the people are people who know the people, who care about the people, who have held responsibilities as perhaps a leader of business, or a leader of innovation, or a leader of parenting groups, or a leader of local health boards. These people who would be just seen normally as a cog in the wheel, the souls amongst these people who are currently feeling a calling to step out, to step up. They are sensing a future mission appearing on the horizon. And this is because it will be in their coding that indeed they are to offer themselves as representatives of their local community, of the national government in the future. Now, in the world that we currently have, known as the old world, there is no structure that would allow this to come into being. As it were, it would be seen as random people stepping up and offering themselves. But please understand, dear souls, for those who are not fully cognizant of this fact, what has been happening on planet Earth very vociferously over the last 5 years now is not a war between red and blue. Those who still believe in right or left, or good and bad, or these structures have long outlived themselves now. Once you are able to understand that we are in a war of good and evil, that this planet has literally been fighting for its life, the people of this planet have been fought for by the militaries of this world, the galactic companions of this universe. Much bloodshed and courage has been spent in the last several years fighting for mankind to be able to continue to live on beautiful planet Earth. We are aware this must sound for many of you extremely way out if you are listening to this message. But just trust that indeed, if what we are saying is true, you will encounter this in days and months to come. But these new structures, as we say, will not fit into old concepts. So once you can, as it were, get your head around the idea that we are fighting for goodness to find its place on planet Earth, for goodness and enlightenment to find its roots and be rerouted on planet Earth, then you will understand that yes, it is the good people standing forward that can make this happen. Just as you have an adage on your planet which says, for evil to exist, it requires only that the good man stays silent. Well, this is your history, dear souls, and unfortunately you are needing to reap the consequences of this now. It is required that the human consciousness take responsibility for allowing itself to be, as it were, turned into a cog in the wheel, for allowing itself to be overpowered and to become powerless with the belief, oh, that's how it is, or oh, the bad always win, or the powerful always win. In truth, there is no blame. There is only love for the fact that this has happened to you, dear souls, because galactically it is understood that planet Earth has indeed been overpowered by these forces of darkness. However, moving forward, it is now time to step up and to say, yes, I hold the good. I hold the good in my being. I order my life. I order my being. And I become a contributing, functional part of the community moving forward. And will do in the name of the light, in the name of Christ energy, in the name of source energy moving forward. I will contribute to the best of my being. And this is what we encourage and support you in, dear souls, at this time.
Very nice. I think that's pretty much summed up those questions very nicely. Is there any other maybe final advice that you might be able to give in this space?
Dear souls, we say once again, as so many people on your YouTube do at this time, breathe. Remember that breath is the light of God within you, and it is time now for you to become shining beacons of that light. And the breath is the way, as you breathe it down into your belly, and sigh it out through your vessel, that this divine information is coming into each and every cell of your body, and you are able to radiate your best intentions out into the world. So we wish you the best of a loving season, that love find a home within your heart. And as we have said, that this is love for self, love for family, love for friends, love for community, in the best way that it manifests for you at this time. You yourselves are always deeply loved and held in the deepest embrace by prime creation and by all the ascended masters, by the celestial energies, by all the teams of us up here working on your behalf from the galactic community. We are here with you, and we are guiding those strong in spirit who are on their path at this time. We are pin-pricking those who are ready to awake to their deeper power at this time, and we are soothing those who are really in struggle at this time with these energies. We are here in all ways to support humanity at this time, and you are deeply loved. Blessed be, blessed be, and blessed be.
Thank you very much.
Great. Lots of talking. Wasn't too fast.
No, it was great. Really good.
Good. So that's our little bit for today. Thanks, Ant. And we'll sign off, yeah?
Yep.
Lots of happy Christmas, everybody. Lots of love.